A cute, dazed-looking little yellow duck was paddling its wings with all its might. But the gentle and refined me could only think of roasting it over a fire. Its increasingly glossy feathers and round body were simply the perfect material for a world-class Beijing roast duck. Unexpectedly, just as I was about to make my move, the little yellow duck suddenly spread its wings and flew into the air. In the next second, the sky was abruptly obscured by a massive shadow. A giant three-legged golden crow had appeared out of nowhere. Before I could recover from the shock, the golden crow transformed into a brilliant beam of light and, aiming for the spot between my eyebrows, shot directly into my forehead. Immediately, a voice echoed in my mind. "Congratulations, host, for successfully awakening an SSS rank beast taming talent. Congratulations, host, for obtaining a mythical beast cub, one three-legged golden crow." Hearing the voice in my head, I was stunned for a moment, then overwhelmed with ecstasy. In the 3 days since I had transmigrated to this world, I had longed to become a beast master. I never imagined that today I would not only awaken an SSS rank talent but also bind with the system. However, just then, a voice interrupted my joy. "What beast taming talent did you awaken? What are its effects?" The speaker was none other than the Academy's principal. The spectacle of my awakening had been too magnificent, although I felt there was no need to hide my talent, after all. A powerful talent would attract more resources. I remained calm and answered simply. "I awakened the SSS rank talent, gift of the mythical beasts. Its effect is that whenever I contract with a mythical beast, I can share all of its talents and skills." The moment I finished speaking, I saw the principal's expression change instantly. His initial excitement gradually gave way to disappointment. "Are you sure this talent only triggers with mythical beasts?" he asked. His voice trembling. I nodded in confirmation. The principal patted my shoulder. His tone tinged with helplessness and sorrow. "Your talent is indeed powerful. But in an era without mythical beasts, it's probably less useful than an F-rank talent." His words left me speechless. Although I knew mythical beasts were rare in this world, my talent was SSS rank. How could it be so easily dismissed as useless? At the same time, mocking laughter began to ripple across the training ground. Wang Shuai of the Wang Commerce Guild stood nearby, sneering loudly. "I thought you were so great. Sha Jinchu, turns out you just awakened a useless talent. It's not even as good as my B-rank talent." His taunts spurred on the surrounding crowd. People lamented that my talent was worthless, and some even thought I was a lost cause. However, I paid no attention to their ridicule. I knew I had the system as my trump card. There was no need to play the fool. But faced with their mockery, I had no intention of staying silent. After all, I wasn't one to be trifled with. I looked at Wang Shuai and said coldly, "Wang Shuai, do you know why your father has an A- rank talent and your mother has a B-rank talent? Yet you only have an E-rank talent? I can only say, it must have been really hard on your auntie." As soon as I spoke, a brief silence fell over the field, followed by an earth-shattering uproar. Everyone was clearly stunned by my suggestive remark. Wang Shuai's father was A rank and his mother was B rank, logically. He shouldn't be a talentless E rank. Many people had wondered about this before but could never find an explanation. My single sentence hit the nail on the head, and it dawned on everyone, Wang Shuai's father had been cheated on. The gazes of the crowd became complicated in an instant. Some were filled with pity, others with schadenfreude. Whispers rose and fell. Could what Sha Jinchu said be true? This is explosive. Indeed, things like this are common in wealthy families. It would explain it. These whispers and jeers completely broke Wang Shuai. He had intended to teach me a lesson, but he had become the joke instead. His face alternated between green and white. In the end, without another word, he turned, pushed through the crowd, and fled in disgrace. I stood my ground, my mood relatively calm. However, Principal Huang Jiyong walked over with a frown, patted my shoulder, and said with a hint of concern, "Student Shaw, the Wang family is not a simple one. You've seriously offended them today. You must be careful of their retaliation in the future." I smiled, completely unfazed. "Principal, I'm not afraid of the Wang family now, let alone in the future." Though the Wang family had a powerful background, I didn't feel the slightest bit threatened. My confidence came from the system's newbie gift pack, that three-legged golden crow. The existence of a single mythical beast was enough to make me fearless. What was the Wang family? In the face of such power, they were mere dust. The principal seemed unable to understand my confidence. He frowned in thought for a moment, then glanced at Zhang Qianqin standing beside me. He seemed to have a sudden realization, shaking his head and muttering to himself. Young people these days, always looking for shortcuts, always wanting to live off a woman. My own stomach isn't great. How come I've never had such good fortune? He then walked away, shaking his head and sighing. I was stunned, completely baffled by his words. Shortcuts? Did he sense I had a system? The thought made my heart skip a beat. But then again, maybe he wasn't talking about the system, but rather my relationship with Zhang Qianqin. This thought allowed me to relax a little. Beside me, Zhang Qianqin had clearly misunderstood. She quickly comforted me. Don't worry, as long as I'm here, neither Wang Shuai nor the Wang family will bully you. She spoke with great sincerity. Looking at her genuine expression, I couldn't help but smile. Thank you, but I really don't care about the Wang family. Although her face screamed disbelief, I didn't explain further. I just wanted to complete the contract as soon as possible and master the power of the three-legged golden crow. With that, I got on my bike and headed straight home. Once there, I eagerly opened the system's newbie gift pack and received the three-legged golden crow. The little creature that appeared before me had a flame mark on its forehead, 3 crow gold claws on its belly, and a fiery red body. It was about the size of the little yellow duck from before, but its intelligent eyes were full of pride and wisdom. Looking at it, I felt a sense of closeness. I reached out a hand tentatively and said, "Hello, my name is Sha Jinchu. I'll be in your care from now on." The three-legged golden crow tilted its head and looked at me, clearly feeling a similar affinity. It flew directly onto my palm and nuzzled its head against my hand. Seeing how spiritual it was, I didn't hesitate any longer and began the contract. Perhaps because it was so friendly towards me, the process was incredibly smooth and was completed in no time. As the system's notification sound rang, a flood of memories poured into my mind, knowledge about the three-legged golden crow's talents and skills. At the same time, a powerful force rapidly filled my entire body. I felt as if I possessed the strength to shatter mountains and split rocks. This feeling was the feedback from contracting a beast. The book said that most people only feel a slight increase in strength after forming a contract. My intense sensation was clearly unusual, likely because I had contracted a mythical beast. I resisted the urge to test my newfound strength. After all, the wall in front of me was my own. If I broke it, I'd have to pay for repairs. That would be a waste. I looked up at the system panel. Name, level, talents, skills, everything was clearly displayed. The long list of magnificent talents made the corners of my mouth curl up. A useless talent? They had no idea what true power was. With a cold smile, I closed the panel, ready to use this power to change my destiny. Just then, the system's voice sounded again. Congratulations, host, for completing the novice guide and successfully contracting the mythical beast, the three-legged golden crow. The mission system is now active. Host, please claim the title of top scorer in the National College Entrance Exam in 1 week. The higher the rank of top scorer, the richer the reward. Penalty for failure, none. Thankfully, it wasn't one of those systems that would erase me for failing a mission. Although I had contracted a mythical beast, raising one was incredibly expensive, and money was what I lacked most right now. So, I raised my goal from being the top scorer in Zhangcheng City to being the national top scorer. The rewards would be much more substantial. Besides, having contracted a mythical beast, I needed an achievement to match. Anything less would be an insult to the beast. However, although the three-legged golden crow was a mythical beast, it was just a newborn. Winning the National College Entrance Exam would likely be difficult. I recalled past top scorers. Some came from powerful families, some relied on luck, and some simply used money to create an absolute advantage, using rare treasures to enhance their physique and contracting high-aptitude beasts to sweep the exam. I checked the data for the three-legged golden crow. Its name was Taiyi, its race was three-legged golden crow, and its attributes were fire. light, and flight. Its aptitude was even high-level mythical. In addition, it had 3 super skills: Heaven-Shattering Divine Claw, True Sunfire, and Meteor Fire Rain. Its talents and skills would gradually unlock as it leveled up, but its current strength was not enough to handle the college entrance exam. I had no money to buy rare treasures to raise it. The only way for Taiyi to grow quickly was to kill spiritually rich creatures to gain evolution points. With this thought, my resolve hardened. It seemed I had to go to that place. I went to the Zhongcheng Beast Master Association, a gathering place for beast masters where they not only had their levels assessed but also accepted missions. I wanted to earn some pocket money and get Taiyi some combat training. The Nightmare Mountain Range was a perfect training ground for novices, rich in resources with beasts that weren't too powerful. Upon entering the association hall, I saw many familiar faces. A number of student-like beast masters were mixed in the crowd. Isn't that Sha Jinchu? My appearance immediately attracted attention. He's the one who awakened the SSS rank useless talent. People began to whisper. Although their voices were low, they still reached my ears. The news of my awakening had shaken the whole city, so these discussions weren't unexpected. I glanced at the speakers. Many were students from Zhongcheng No. 1 High School. Several familiar faces were grouped in small teams, clearly planning to take on missions together. Then, I noticed Wang Shuai standing to the side, flanked by 2 bodyguards in black. When Wang Shuai saw me, his face turned red with rage. Before I could get close, he threw a stack of papers at me and said coldly, "Sha Jinchu, this is a paternity test. See for yourself." At his words, the hall instantly fell silent. All eyes were on us. I quickly waved my hands and explained. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Don't spread rumors. After this triple denial, I added, Wang Shuai, we have no relationship. Don't slander me, although your mom is indeed quite something. I've never touched her. Hearing this, Wang Shuai managed to suppress his anger. Look for yourself. It's written clearly. The paternity test result between my dad and me is 99%. It's not like your wild guess this morning. He enunciated every word. I, however, feigned a sigh of relief, looked up, and smiled. That's good. I don't care whose kid you are, as long as it has nothing to do with me. Besides, I was just guessing. Why did you take it so seriously? Seeing that Wang Shuai's face was about to contort with rage, I knew staying longer would mean trouble. I quickly made an excuse to leave. I have something to do. I'm leaving now. With that, I grabbed a few simple missions and bolted. I boarded the bus to the Nightmare Mountain Range and finally felt relieved. Thinking about Wang Shuai's twisted, angry face brought me no small amount of pleasure. Back in the Zhongcheng Beast Master Association Hall, Wang Shuai watched my departing figure, gritting his teeth. If fighting wasn't forbidden in the city, I'd show you what cruel means. At this moment, Yi Shui glanced at him, her narrow eyes glinting. Why be angry? I saw him take a few missions in the Nightmare Mountain Range. Aren't you going there to catch a beast? If you run into him, won't he be at your mercy? Hearing this, Wang Shuai's eyes lit up, his anger instantly turning to joy. He turned and grabbed Yi Shui's small hand. You're so clever. When we get to the Nightmare Mountain Range, just watch how I deal with him. Yi Shui silently pulled her hand back, a flash of disdain in her eyes, but her face remained smiling. Brother Shuai, we need to hurry, otherwise, we'll have to spend the night in the mountains. However, Wang Shuai was completely captivated by her sweet-talking voice. His gaze swept over her body, and he quickly ordered his bodyguards to inquire about high-aptitude beasts in the Nightmare Mountain Range. Soon after, the bodyguards returned with news of several good aptitude beasts, including a high-level commander-rank swallow-tailed tiger. Without hesitation, Wang Shuai led Yi Shui and the bodyguards out of the Beast Master Association. At the entrance to the Nightmare Mountain Range, a small settlement had formed due to the constant traffic of adventurers and beast masters. All sorts of supplies were available. I had already prepared everything. Adjusting my backpack, I walked straight into the depths of the mountain range. As soon as I entered, I released Taiyi. Although a beast could automatically manifest from the taming space when it sensed danger, I felt it was safer to have him out at all times. This way, his reaction time would be faster. As I walked, I searched for a suitable beast for Taiyi to practice on, but perhaps because I was too close to the entrance, All I encountered were small fry. After about 20 minutes, I finally saw a suitable target, a steel-toothed boar rolling in a mud pit. Judging by its massive body, at least 5 meters long, it was fully grown. Its level was likely low-level elite. Although Thankyou was only an ordinary rank level 1, he was a mythical beast. I thought he could handle the challenge. Thankyou, that steel-toothed boar is probably elite rank. Are you confident? In response, Thankyou let out 2 sharp cries. The next second, he launched from my shoulder, turning into a golden streak of light and lunging straight for the steel-toothed boar. Before the boar could react, Thankyou was upon it. His 3 claws emanated an aura that could tear the heavens apart, the tips glinting with a sharp light. In an instant, Thankyou's claws crushed the steel-toothed boar's head. With a short, sharp squeal, the huge body collapsed, splashing mud everywhere. Thankyou transformed back into a golden streak and landed on my shoulder. His head held high with pride, his eyes filled with the light of victory. Seeing this explosive power, I couldn't help but praise him. Truly a mythical beast, to be able to instantly kill an opponent a whole rank higher. Just then, a light flashed on Thankyou's body, and the system's notification sounded. Thankyou has advanced to ordinary rank. Second stage, obtained 3 evolution points. I opened the system panel and excitedly clicked the plus sign next to Thankyou's level. 10 evolution points are currently required to advance to ordinary rank. Third stage, please continue to work hard. Host. Looking at the information on the screen, I understood. I needed 10 evolution points to level up Thankyou, but that was just a matter of 3 more steel-toothed boars. My heart filled with motivation. After all, with Thankyou's strength, working hard for a week to reach the Overlord rank didn't seem impossible. One had to know, a commander rank beast was enough to dominate the National College entrance exam, and an Overlord rank beast was exceedingly rare. Time flew by. Around 5 p.m., I continued onward with Thankyou. At the entrance of the Nightmare Mountain Range, a luxury car slowly came to a stop. The arrivals were none other than Wang Shuai and Yi Shui. Wang Shuai looked at the darkening sky and tentatively asked, "Cher, it's getting late. Why don't we find a place to stay and enter the mountains tomorrow morning?" But Yi Shui quickly shook her head. "Brother Shuai, we paid a lot of money for the information on the swallow-tailed tiger. It would be bad if someone else got to it first. Besides, haven't you always wanted to experience being close to nature? Just let me contract the swallow-tailed tiger, and I'll make your wish come true." Hearing this, Wang Shuai's spirits lifted. The thought of a natural encounter with Yi Shui in the Nightmare Mountain Range made him instantly excited. "Cher, you're so thoughtful. We'll go into the mountains now." In the depths of the Nightmare Mountain Range, late at night, I had just used Thankyou's power to deal with a high-level ordinary rank large-eared rabbit. Although using Thankyou's skills consumed a lot of my stamina and mental energy, I was very satisfied with being able to kill the opponent so easily. By now, Thankyou had reached ordinary rank. 9th stage. He had grown considerably and was no longer suitable to stay on my shoulder. I had accumulated 539 evolution points, but I still needed 1.000 to reach the elite rank. With no other choice, I decided to rest for a while and prepare dinner. However, just as I was about to enjoy my meal, 2 deafening tiger roars suddenly came from the distance, followed by the sounds of a fierce battle. There are people fighting at this hour? And from the sound of those roars, it must be a high-level beast. My heart tensed. I quickly directed Thankyou, "Let's go. We need to get out of here quickly and not get involved." I had only run a short distance when I saw a firelight coming from a cave up ahead. I could also hear a familiar voice. They say that when a tiger has 3 cubs, one is always a biao. This little one looks like the legendary fire-eyed golden biao. Its aptitude is actually high-level emperor rank. Haha, my luck is through the roof. The speaker was likely Wang Shuai. However, in the next second, his tone turned to one of utter shock. "Yi Shui, what are you doing?" Then, I heard Yi Shui's cold voice. "You really are an idiot. I was just lying low by your side to gather intelligence. I never expected to encounter an emperor rank beast. Since that's the case, I certainly can't leave it to a piece of trash like you." "You, who are you?" Wang Shuai demanded angrily. "My dad is Wang Xian. You can't kill me. Besides, my bodyguards will be back any second." "Wang Shuai, you're about to die and you're still yelling. Before she finished speaking, a loud bang came from within the cave. Amidst a cloud of dust, Wang Shuai ran out of the cave in a sorry state, crashing right into me at the entrance. When Wang Shuai saw me, his expression changed, and he shouted anxiously, "Sha Jinchu, quick, save me." His voice was particularly piercing in the silent night, but I had no intention of saving him. Our relationship wasn't that good. Besides, this was the Nightmare Mountain Range. Anyone who dared to kill for treasure here was not to be trifled with. Just as a glimmer of hope appeared in his eyes, a cold light flashed from the cave behind him. The next moment, he screamed and collapsed to the ground. I looked closely and saw a dagger, its blade gleaming, precisely embedded in his heart. And its owner was Yi Shui, who was slowly walking out of the cave. Under the moonlight, she looked even more bewitching than during the day. To be honest, as the campus belle of Zhangcheng #1 High School, her looks and figure were indeed outstanding. But at this moment, I was in no mood to appreciate them. She was a rose with thorns, a murderous one at that. Wang Shuai, lying on the ground, had just demonstrated this point with his life. Student Shaw, still not resting so late at night? What brings you here? Yi Shui pulled out the dagger, wiped the blood off it, and glanced at me nonchalantly. I pretended to back away casually. Oh, Student Yi, it's too dark. I didn't see anything. I need to get back now. My roast rabbit is still on the fire. It'll burn if I don't go back. But just as I was about to leave, I noticed she was holding a beast in her arms. Its fiery red eyes instantly reminded me of its name, Fire-Eyed Golden Biao. Although this creature was only emperor rank, for an ordinary person, it was an unattainable existence. Wang Shuai had lost his life for it. Yi Shui didn't stop me. Instead, she smiled. Student Shaw wants to go back for roast meat. Of course I won't stop you. But I'd like to borrow something. I hope you won't refuse. Her words, coupled with her enchanting smile, sent a shiver down my spine. She was like a demon from a folktale. I sighed and shrugged helplessly. This feeling is so familiar. Must you force my hand? The moment I finished speaking, my expression changed. I then shouted coldly, "Taiyi, do it." In the next second, Taiyi flashed out from the treetops like a golden streak, his sharp claws aimed straight at Yi Shui. Just as her head was about to be crushed like tofu, a forest wolf leapt out from behind her, taking the fatal blow. The wolf was severely injured, its waist nearly torn apart, held together only by a thin layer of skin. Yi Shui's face was now pale, her confident smile frozen. She never expected that I, the laughingstock of the entire school, had actually contracted a beast, and that it had nearly killed her. Just as Taiyi was about to deliver the finishing blow, a chill ran down my spine. Without time to think, I quickly activated Taiyi's talent, Golden Light Jaunt, transforming into a golden streak and lunging at Yi Shui. At the same time, I activated the heaven-shattering Divine Claw, my hand filled with unstoppable power. "Saintus, be careful!" A desperate shout came from behind me. Simultaneously, I felt the ground beneath my feet tremble slightly. Looking back, I saw a jade blood toad and an iron-backed crocodile charging out from the shadows. That was close. If I hadn't reacted quickly enough, I would have been ambushed. The speed of Golden Light Jaunt was astonishing. In the blink of an eye, I appeared before Yi Shui, the heaven-shattering Divine Claw thrusting towards her chest. Yi Shui tried to block with her dagger, but it was instantly shattered by my claw. The fire-eyed Golden Biao was also easily torn apart, flesh and blood flying everywhere. With a loud sound, my claw pierced through Yi Shui's heart. As she fell, the entire battlefield fell silent, although I felt weak from using my skills consecutively. Looking at the dead fire-eyed Golden Biao, a cold smile appeared on my lips. However, before the warmth of victory could fade, a gloomy voice suddenly spoke. "Kid, you killed the saintess of our Beast God Alliance. You're dead." The man who had been hiding in the dark finally stepped out from the shadows of the forest. Looking with fury at the dead Yi Shui on the ground, beside him stood the jade blood toad and the iron-backed crocodile. To my surprise, this man was one of Wang Shuai's black-clothed bodyguards. Seeing this, I could only sigh at how unfortunate Wang Shuai was, with so many traitors in his own house. Given his intelligence, dying at Yi Shui's hands was a form of release. As for the bodyguard's threat, I was indeed a bit worried. After all, in novels, these deeply hidden, mysterious organizations were usually very difficult to deal with. And I wasn't some novel protagonist, who knew when they might decide to eliminate me. I glanced at him. This Beast God Alliance, you mentioned, what's that about? Actually, this is all a misunderstanding. Why don't we call a truce? After all, my roast rabbit is still cooking. It won't taste good if it's burnt. My words left him stunned. His eyes filled with confusion. He seemed to suspect I had gone mad. Just moments ago, we were fighting to the death. And now I was talking about rabbit meat. I knew in my heart that there was no point in reasoning with this kind of person. Before he could say anything, I silently opened the system interface. Host killed the fire-eyed golden Biao. Obtained 500 evolution points. Host killed Yi Shui. Obtained 1 evolution point. Taiyi killed the forest wolf. Obtained 150 evolution points. Total, 1.190 evolution points. Looking at the data on the panel, I was slightly taken aback. Although Yi Shui gave a pitifully small number of evolution points, the total amount exceeded my expectations. By my calculations, killing an Emperor-rank beast should yield about 500 points. As for Yi Shui, that was just a bonus. The situation was now clear. I had gathered enough evolution points for Taiyi to level up. My life depended on him. Thinking this, I dropped all pretense and looked at him coldly. I was just waiting for my beast to evolve. And you? Are you waiting to die? As soon as I spoke, his face turned ashen. He never expected me to play him like that. But before he could react, Taiyi, in the air, suddenly burst forth with a dazzling light, hanging in the sky like a small sun. At the same time, I heard the system's voice. Taiyi has advanced to elite rank. First stage, awakened talent, size manipulation. Awakened skill, heaven-seeking golden eyes. Although my body could barely withstand the pressure from Taiyi's upgrade, I gritted my teeth and held on. After all, having contracted a mythical beast, my constitution was stronger than that of an ordinary person. Taiyi, eliminate them. At my command, Taiyi let out a cry, and with a flash of golden light, he pounced on the jade blood toad and the iron-backed crocodile. His sharp claws aimed straight for them. The bodyguard, Chu Yu, clearly knew the iron-backed crocodile was famous for its defense. He quickly commanded, "Iron-backed crocodile, switch to heavy armor and block the attack." The black scales on its back quickly glowed, wrapping around its entire body like armor. A sound of clashing metal echoed through the sky. Taiyi's claws, though sharp, couldn't tear through this defense in one go. Meanwhile, the jade blood toad spat venom to interfere with Taiyi. Seeing Taiyi preparing to attack again, a sense of alarm rose within me. I quickly commanded, "Dodge." Taiyi didn't hesitate, flapping his wings and instantly moving from his previous position. The moment he moved, a large glob of black venom splattered on the ground, withering all the grass and trees it touched. Compared to the defensive iron-backed crocodile, the jade blood toad was a greater threat. However, at this moment, Chu Yu suddenly vanished without a trace. This must be his talent skill. But in the next second, I sneered and looked at Taiyi in the air. "Taiyi, show them the power of heaven seeking golden eyes." With an excited cry from Taiyi, his eyes glinted with golden light, like two gold-plated pearls, exceptionally bright in the dark night. He majestically scanned the surroundings. Heaven seeking golden eyes, as the name implied, could see through illusions in reality. Although Taiyi's current ability hadn't reached the legendary level, breaking a simple invisibility spell was more than enough. Seeing this, the hiding Chu Yu was shocked. He realized Taiyi's ocular skill was a direct counter to his invisibility. He immediately commanded his two beasts. Jade blood toad, spit venom to interfere. Iron-backed crocodile, go kill that beast master. As long as he's dead, that strange bird will be no threat. Chu Yu seemed to understand the principle of capturing the king to capture the bandits. He planned to use the iron-backed crocodile to ambush me. However, he clearly underestimated my grasp of the situation. I could feel his every move. I just showed a disdainful smile at his arrangements. The enemy's attack was no longer a threat. But since he wanted to play, I would play along. I put on a terrified expression, stumbling backward and even pretending to fall in a panic. As expected, the hiding Chu Yu easily took the bait. Seeing my panicked state, though he felt something was off, he didn't dwell on it. The iron-backed crocodile was already lunging at me, its gaping maw getting closer and closer to my body. In that instant, I dropped the terrified expression. My eyes flashed with golden light, and I stared coldly at a distant shadow. Finally found you. This sentence made Chu Yu's heart sink. He knew he had been discovered. Before he had time to escape, a golden light had already appeared in front of him. Goodbye. Before he could react, my claw had pierced his heart. Chu Yu didn't even have time to scream before his body went limp and fell to the ground. Hearing Chu Yu's final cry, the jade blood toad and the iron-backed crocodile instantly panicked. Seizing this moment, Taiyi transformed into a golden streak, flashed behind the jade blood toad, and grabbed it by its vital point. However, just then, the jade blood toad and the iron-backed crocodile let out mournful cries and then fell motionless. I looked up and realized that because Chu Yu had died, they, too, had perished, as their souls were connected to their beast master. I let out a long breath and collapsed onto the grass. Completely exhausted, it was finally over. Dealing with a high-level beast master was truly troublesome, if I hadn't been lucky enough to kill the forest wolf first. And then coincidentally awakened the heaven-seeking golden eyes skill that countered invisibility. I might not have survived tonight. Just then, Taiyi flew down from the sky and placed a snake gallbladder in front of me. Seeing his excited look, I couldn't help but laugh. This snake gallbladder is worth a lot of money, but I don't have any storage equipment, so you can have it this time. I handed the gallbladder to Taiyi, and he immediately swallowed it whole, even striking a pose as if to say, I was forced to do it. His comical gesture made me laugh out loud, just as Taiyi and I were enjoying this rare moment of relaxation. An unexpected voice shattered the peace. Brilliant, truly a brilliant counter kill. The voice wasn't loud, but it instantly tensed my nerves. I hadn't expected someone else to be watching from the shadows. My gaze immediately shot towards the source of the voice. The first word that popped into my head when I saw the person was beautiful. Black combat uniform, long, straight legs, snow-white skin, and an exquisite face. She looked like a fairy descended from heaven. Only her cold, icy face slightly detracted from this beauty. I suppressed my shock. Who are you? Are you with them? I secretly exchanged a glance with Taiyi, ready to fight at any moment. The woman before me was beautiful, but who knew if she was an enemy? Baili Qingshui glanced at the bodies of Chu Yu and Yi Shui on the ground and then looked at me coolly. Kid, don't lump me in with rats who hide in the dark. After she spoke, she glanced at me again, seeming to notice my hand quietly reaching into my backpack. She reminded me nonchalantly, oh, by the way, I'm a master rank beast master. You should probably put away your little tricks. Otherwise, my little Bing might not be so easy to control. As she finished speaking, a massive creature with a blood-red pattern and azure eyes slowly walked out from the shadows behind her. The ice crystal white tiger was enormous, radiating a chilling aura. I recognized it at a glance. This was definitely an adult overlord rank existence. I immediately dropped the handful of lime powder I was holding. Are you kidding me? This level of beast couldn't be dealt with by lime powder. A misunderstanding. I was just getting some food. You must be hungry too. Since it's so late, I have a rabbit roasting over there. If you don't mind, why don't we have some together? I felt the pressure from the ice crystal white tiger and immediately put on a smiling face, trying to ease the situation by inviting her to dinner. Baili Qingshui stared at me, seemingly amused by my sudden change. Her cold expression softened. Kid, just based on your flexible attitude, it's no wonder those rats from the Beast God Alliance died at your hands. She sized me up, noticing the Zhongcheng No. 1 high school uniform I was wearing. Are you sure you're just a high school student? Sister, I really am a third-year student at Zhongcheng No. 1 high school. As for the dead people, let me explain. They were trying to kill me. But before I could finish my explanation, Baili Qingshui interrupted me. Alright, I don't want to hear your story. I just want to tell you that I've taken a liking to you. Her words left me completely bewildered. Are all beautiful women this direct nowadays? I looked at her stunning face and tall figure and found it difficult to refuse. I stammered, isn't this a bit too fast? Maybe we should get to know each other first? But before I could finish, she readily agreed, as if she had already planned it. My name is Baili Qingshui, from the Homeland Security and Counterterrorism Operations Bureau, commonly known as the Third Bureau. I am the leader of Squad 8 of the 3rd Bureau. I am now inviting you to become a reserve member of our organization. What do you say? Hearing this, I realized I had completely misunderstood her intentions, a major misunderstanding. So, she wasn't with those villains, she belonged to a government organization. Thankfully, she hadn't seen through my earlier thoughts. Or I might have lost my life. Can I choose not to join? I asked cautiously, thinking about the secret of my system and not wanting to get involved in any troublesome organizations. However, Bailey Qingxue glanced at me. Of course, you can. She paused deliberately, seeming to notice my nervousness. A hint of a smile in her eyes. But the 3rd Bureau is a confidential unit. Since you now know about it, you must sign several non-disclosure agreements. Also, you will be under our surveillance for a period of time. If you exhibit any unusual behavior, we will summon you for questioning. Hearing the word, surveillance, I frowned. Signing non-disclosure agreements was fine, but being watched was not. I had the secret of the system. If they found out, the consequences would be unimaginable. Just as I was worrying about this, Bailey Qingxue said nonchalantly, "What a pity. I was planning to apply for a 10 million subsidy for you after you became a reserve member. It seems you won't be getting it now." Her words stunned me. All my hesitation vanished in an instant. My eyes widened, and I quickly asked, "How much did you say?" "Please say it again." 10 million. Bailey Qingxue replied with a calm expression, as if the number was nothing special. But when I heard this amount, my heart nearly leapt out of my chest. 10 million. This was no small sum. It was enough for me to buy the best resources to upgrade Taiyi's strength. I immediately put on a fawning smile. Is it too late for me to join the 3rd Bureau now? Bailey Qingxue looked at me skeptically. Are you sure? The 3rd Bureau is very dangerous. Many people die every year. My expression turned serious. I patted my chest. Protecting the country's security is my sworn duty. Seeing this, Bailey Qingxue showed a faint smile. Very well. From tonight, you are a reserve member of the 3rd Bureau. Her smile at that moment was breathtakingly beautiful. I was a bit dazed, but she quickly returned to her icy expression. Give me your address. Your documents will be processed and mailed to you tomorrow. When will the subsidy arrive? Compared to the documents, I was clearly more concerned about the 10 million. I have your bank account number. The money can be transferred now, Bailey Qingxue said, taking out her phone without looking up. I recited my card number without hesitation. A few seconds later, my phone chimed with a notification. Your account has received a deposit of 10.000.000. Looking at the number on my phone, I felt a bit dizzy. This morning, I was worrying about living expenses. And now I was a millionaire 10 times over. The contrast was just too unreal. The money has been transferred. Did you receive it? Received. Thank you, Sister Qingxue, for your trust in me, I said gratefully with a huge smile. Bailey Qingxue was not only a cold beauty but also a rich woman. I had to hold on tight to this patron. She glanced at Taiyi on my shoulder, then at my disheveled appearance, and said, that was just a benefit from the 3rd Bureau. As the leader of Squad 8, I'll give you another gift.